It's called. Good morning. I hope you are well and doing better. And I hope you're ready for some new thinking. Do you ever do new thinking to find out what makes the world turn around? There is much going on with technology, which we know a little bit about, but in respect of what the changes are going to be coming, I think you and I both are going to have to take some new steps going forward, trying to figure what is going on and how is it going to affect your business. It's inevitable that we will probably, some of us, will wake up one morning and we will lose our religion with the frustration we have to go through trying to figure out what in the world is being thrown at me for me to try to understand it and use the details so I can make a better approach to business. I don't know exactly how you think nor how you feel about things, but I can tell you there are many major corporations who are pushing things forward and throwing new things at us technology-wise. And I think it's inevitable. Those are some of the things that we're being given as far as details now on how is it changing. I think it is. It's certainly interesting to me when I hear so many of you share that frustration. And what does that mean? And how can I use that? We've got to be a little bit better prepared when it comes to all of those details. Now, one of the things I think it's important that you begin to look at is the fact of how Zillow has reached some new things and what they're doing. And I don't understand why they're doing some things and why it seems like they've kind of lost some positions that otherwise they would have. But just be aware that the odds are you'll wake up and one day Zillow will be there in your face throwing things at you to get business done and sell houses and that sort of thing. But it all changes. And I think you're going to find them a much more aggressive and much more positioned for them to be more aggressive in what they're doing in business. Now, Kay has she has a lot of awareness about things. So Kay, let's talk a minute about what your perception is. And by the way, I've read the information that you shared with me on it was, yes. But it's kind of amazing on one hand. And if you know and have seen or played with them in the past, I think you have to be aware that they're not going to all of a sudden make everything wonderful. But I'm telling you, they're going to be working and they're going to get things in a position that'll be much better than what they are now. I just think it's a matter of how they play. And they've got a lot of money at stake, and I think they're going to make a big situation at some point. Now, if you are awake and you are aware, you should be able to take advantage of that. But be careful that you just give up and throw it all out and forget it, because I promise you, you will resent yourself if you don't stay on top of it. Okay, let's talk about that just a minute, if you will.
Okay, well, yes, Zillow is, I would say, I think I can say with good certainty that they will definitely be one of the forerunners as far as helping to advance our industry with technology. Um, One of the things that I can never take away from Zillow, well, not at this point anyway, is that they do a lot of outstanding research.
Yes.
They do some of the most thorough research that I've seen from any real estate company.
And when you're talking about research, help me understand just a little bit on a broader sense.
So they approach their research, I think, when they approach any research that they do, they look at it from multiple facets. So like, NAR, for example, gives us data and studies and things, but a lot of times it's just directed, towards the realtor. And what things are happening specifically for the realtor, and then you take that information and you try to incorporate it into your business to keep going.
And can we believe that MAR doesn't have what it takes to deliver things for the average real estate agent?
I think in the state that they're in now, they need help. Yes, MAR.
Yes.
I think,
and they've always needed help. God knows.
Well, I want to be a little optimistic right now because they have a new CEO, this woman, Katie Schatz, who I think she was in Florida at first, and she was with the Memphis Area Association of Realtors, I don't know, like 20-something years ago, and she left for Florida and she came back. One of the things that I like that she's doing, they actually did a spread about it in the Realtor.com magazine for those of you who actually came and picked it up. They're talking about her, and they're talking about this push that she has to make realtors in our area more aware of these, what they call, I guess they're like target zones, or, realtors, some of us, not all, but some of us have certain areas that we prefer to work in. We have certain price points that we prefer to work in. And so we leave a lot of opportunity on the table.
Give me, if you could, what area for you is one that gets your attention?
An area where we have opportunity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Right now, there's a lot of focus on the Fraser and Crosstown, but I think Hickory Hill, that area is going to be one of those that eventually will need somebody to impact it. Because, 20 years ago, it was booming. They were building stores and strip malls and all that. And like over the last 20 years or so, maybe less time than that, I would say maybe 10 or 11 years, it's kind of the businesses are going to other areas or just shutting down. There's been a lot more, large influx of rental activity that's now happening around there. Not that that's bad, it's just, homeowners tend to view renters differently than they view other homeowners.
Well, one of the things that I used to go through, and it was back in the 08, and even before that, when you had the construction major situations that was being built for commercial property becoming a part of the area, and there were more people moving into it, and that was Fraser. And
that's about to start happening again in Fraser, though, because of the Fraser Development Corporation in large part. And a lot of people don't know that that's a private development. They're a private entity.
Right. So why don't agents make it a point to become aware of what's going on in those areas that they can leverage.
I can't speak for every agent or all agents. I don't know why they don't do that. I think a lot of times we just see the dollar signs on the price point of a property, and that's what we want to go for, because in our heart we feel like those are the properties that'll keep us in our lives, in our situation, or current lifestyle, or whatever. But I can say that for best real estate agents, when I go out to things like that, I do see other best agents participating. Like, I may not say anything to them, but I see them. And because, I'm just there to get the information and see how I can affect change. And then I go on. I'm not much of a mingler. But I do see our agents participating and stuff like that.
Okay. Is it true that for agents that they don't learn what it takes to become a professional, and how do they find that that professional function where they know what they've got in front of them?
They have to be willing to come and talk to a broker, the people in their office, and say, hey, I'm struggling here, so that we can help them or point them in a direction where they can get the help. I also think that it's very important for us to be self-taught. A lot of times people just don't want to take the time to sit down and learn about their business. They feel like that should be an afterthought, when really that is how you stay ahead. It's knowing where the trends are, where things are going. A lot of people are just really mad at Zillow now because they changed one aspect. And I'll admit, I'm one of those people that...
Well, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you have to, change the way you do business in order to keep up. But I think that they are going to be major players in all facets of real estate. From the technology that we use, they have partnered with Amazon to create a lending solution online. I actually saw a commercial the other day where Zillow is and Amazon are in the same, commercial spot. That was odd. The other thing that they're doing is they actually bought a mortgage company, and now they're working on streamlining the title process, which other companies are doing that too. But now Zillow is getting into construction. They're getting into every aspect of our business to impact it.
Okay, could you name one agent that that is on their game, they're ahead of the competition, and they know how to get where they're going?
I can name several. The first one, of course, that springs to mind is Jonathan Bunch. I don't care what is happening, what you see on the news, what you see in your office, or what other agents are saying. He just always seems to be doing two things: having a good time and closing transactions. So he's one. Eric Crutcher, I can name quite a few. Lisa Thomas, Ben Lee, Marnika McMillan. And then we even have some new agents that have been pretty consistent too. Kelly, Ching, Knable, Gary. They're still learning, yet they are not allowing some of the negative noise we hear right now about our industry and the bubble and all of that stop them.
Okay, and we have one agent.
Tommy McKinney. I could go down the list.
We have one agent who is heading up a development of properties in Raleigh.
Well, he's not heading it up. He's just a member of that corporation that's.
Okay, but the female agent.
Which one? There's more.
There's
several. So there's several agents that are involved in that, and we have an agent here, Mr. Pfeiffer, Charles Pfeiffer, that's a construction guy. He owns a construction company, and he's actually partnered with the other one, the one that is working in Crosstown, that corporation. I want to go back to NAR real quick, though, and say that NAR, the Memphis Area Association of Realtors, was one of 40 realtor associations in the country that was awarded a grant from NAR to help bring attention and awareness to agents so that they can have a more positive mindset about working in these areas where there's opportunity for growth, and they're so that they can share that with their clients or either get involved themselves with their own money to, revitalize some of these communities. And I think that's good. I've never heard of anything like that happening since I've been an agent with MAR. And I think this lady, Ms. Stotts, is one of the primary reasons for that. But during the time that she was in Florida with whatever association she was with down there, I guess 20 years ago, I was working in the appraisal world. And I know that Florida was one of the hardest hit states. Mm-hmm. When the housing market crashed, and a lot of construction was going on there that stopped, and now they are on a comeback. It's like really strong. So I think that she understands what it means to work with other people besides other realtors, and I hope that she will bring a culture here where we can kind of, see common ground. We may not see eye to eye on everything like realtors, investors, and development people, but at the end of the day, we all need to kind of come together to, keep our business flowing.
Okay, if you had to look at the situation where it is now, and what is the most important part of the approach? What is the most important part that you're seeing that you think could make and have a major impact?
Well, for us, in our market, I think the biggest issue that we need to solve is affordable housing. I think technology and all of that is great, and it's great for us to have that. I've actually been trying to learn some stuff myself so that I can bring some better technology to our agents. But I think that we can affect the biggest change by affecting what happens with our inventory. And I don't think near about enough agents think about that. I think we need to start producing more listing agents because whether we want to admit it or not, even if NAR wins that case about those commissions, it is going to change. It is so big now, it's just going to change the way we work with buyer agents. So I think agents need to be able to pivot when necessary in order to continue to generate the income. That's number one. And then the other thing I think agents need to do is, instead of shying away from these areas when we say, oh, we don't want to go there, that, this person only wants to buy a $10,000 house, we need to figure out ways to help our clients grow their, improve upon their investments. We need to have connections for that. We need to know where they can find money for that. I think to do that stuff, and I think that's the most important thing that we need to be doing. And we need to be pushing builders and those people that are putting up new construction to make it affordable for our markets. Everybody doesn't want to buy a $300,000 house. There are some people who like their neighborhoods. I've lived in the same neighborhood for almost as long as I've lived in Memphis or around the same general area. I don't want to leave it. I do not care to live in, upper class suburbia with snooty neighbors. That's not what I want. I want to be able to live around people that I feel are like me, good working class people that get out and make an honest living and, raise their kids with traditional values. And not to say that doesn't happen in those neighborhoods, but why move somewhere else and when I can, make the neighborhood I'm in a better one. So I think we need to start thinking like that. Everybody can't move to Cordova. I actually, every month, one of the things that I do for my Zillow is I go and check availability and the pricing for the different zip codes. And it just amazes me how there is a saturation. Like right now, I think that yesterday when I looked, there was only 2% available for, lead generation for Cordova. There was, nothing for Carville, nothing for those areas. But these other areas over here where you have the most activity going, agents don't want to buy those zip codes.
Okay, what would be the biggest challenge to define what that is. I mean, we've got, for example, Mara. If they're in fact doing some new things, what is new? What are they doing?
Well, this woman, in her defense, she just became the president, or she's not the president, the CEO of Mara. So I think we have to be fair and give her a little time. I mean, I do. She might be, she might be a flop. I don't know. I just think that I'm hoping that something goes different so that my mindset can be different about being affiliated.
How do you think that she will enhance what the average agent does? Is it going to be more properties available, or?
I will hope that she would encourage them to invest their own dollars. That's what I encourage. I have started to invest my own dollars in doing things to help my community. I would hope that that's what she would do. But I don't know, honestly. I can't really speak to it. I just have to be have faith that it'll be all right. I do think, though, that.
Well, do you think there is an effort to make the average agent better?
Like nationally or locally?
Locally. I mean, that's us.
Well, I really can't say, because I'm really not I don't go to Mark. Like, you know what I mean? I don't go over there to I went over the last week and saw that they had a library. But that's no slight to Mara. I just prefer to teach myself. I prefer to get my own information and find sources.
And that opens up some new thinking, doesn't
right.
it?
Yeah. When you go to, like, normally I think when you go to Mara, they teach you what it means to be a realtor. What it means to live by those standards that they set up. That's what they teach you, mostly. And I could be wrong, so if some other agent does a lot with Mara and they think they disagree, hey, I'm all for listening to it. But in my experience, I have never gone to Mara and gotten some information that was life-changing for me.
But that's one of the most important things, that they should be impacting
You're absolutely
agents.
Right. I absolutely agree with that. And I'm just saying, for me as a person, I don't get anything.
Okay, let's say we've got Susan Smith that just got started with us.
Yes.
And I'm sorry I don't have the names at hand.
Oh,
but
that's okay.
here's somebody that wants to make a difference and wants to be successful. What makes it different? What makes them available? What makes them have the ideas that they can start using?
I think the best place for any agent to get that would be right where they hang their license. I just don't think MAR is ever, or NAR for that example, for that matter. I don't think that, in my mind, I don't ever see them doing things to bring an agent to the level of professionalism that you're speaking about. I think that's something they get locally. I learned how to be a professional realtor or a real estate agent from the people that I work with and see every day. That's you, the people who come in this office, Rosemary, other agents that are in this firm. I did not get that from Mark, and I don't think that'll ever be the case as long as we're alive, sir.
Well, we think on the same. Because
That's not to say Mar isn't good for things. I think the influence Mar has big influence with people who are in positions of power here, where they could affect that type of change if they wanted to. They just have to put their minds on it. And it's really up to agents to push their organization to do that kind of stuff.
I think the reality is agents have to get out there and push their own thing. Mm-hmm. And make it that way.
Well, I mean, make their board represent them or bring things to them. I think they have to push for that in order to get it from them. I don't think that they're going to just do it. So I'm very big. One, I mentioned Monica before. I'll mention another agent that I know is feels the same way as me, and that's Leah Nasha Williams. When she came here with the mindset to learn. So did Monica. They both go out and seek information on their own without, as far as I know, without having a push from someone else to do it. They just want to be educated about the field they work in, the trends and the direction of things and how it's going. And they actually do take steps to put themselves in a position where they can, create opportunities for their clients. Marnika shares a lot of great things with me. They're both avid readers. They read, and I think it makes them smarter agents. And agents like that, when they ask me a question, like I have to really be on point with my answer because, I know that they're at a level where, they're thinking deeply about whatever it is. Whereas some agents just want a question to get to the next step in their transaction. They want you to answer the question. And I'm okay with that, but we do have agents here that have a heart for like really seeing things be different. So I do want to recognize that.
I like the idea of things being different.
Yes, they really, I think they'll thrive in whatever situation, we have as far as economics or whatever. I think, because they're always thinking like that. Like, if this happens, how can I keep going? They don't wait for the axe to drop. They are very proactive in that. And they'll say, Kay, what do you think about this? And sometimes they bring me stuff and I'm like, oh, I need to go read that. So I love that.
Okay. Well, Kay, that has been enlightening, and I think all of us can listen and learn. Mm-hmm. And do you have anything else?
Well, the other thing that I did want to speak about that report and Zillow. For those of you who have been Zillow Premier agents, I urge you guys to go and look at their data. I mean, that'll tell you a lot. Mm-hmm. From a national scale, mm-hmm. They drill it down and they look at things from a multitude of perspectives. So they have this new 50-page report about new construction. And I gave it to Larry, and I kind of rolled his eyes at me. He was like, I'm going to read it, sister. He did. and I did. And I mean, it's quite interesting. So mm-hmm. if you have time, go and check out some of the stuff that they do, some of the data that they generate. It was surprising.
Well, I think we have very few thinkers.
Yeah.
And that is sad.
Yeah.
Folks, please, nobody can do this for you most of the time. Mm-mm. You have to find out and dig to yes. find what makes the world go round.
And I promise, in the digging, it definitely makes you, for me, I think the thing that helps me to sell is not the way I look. Because, I mean, look at me. I just...
That's pathetic.
It's not the way I look, but I think a lot of people, when I get a client, they stick with me because of what I know.
Yes. Now, folks, for years, we never did have a requirement about how you dress, mm-hmm. whatever else. I think
it doesn't matter, folks. It does not matter.
I'm telling you.
It does not matter. Larry lifted the weight that he lifted off of me when he said, you don't have to wear heels every day. Because I hate that kind of stuff. But I just figured I may not have on, the biggest, hair all the time or whatever, but if I can educate my clients, then that is what's going to set me apart from everybody else. And it absolutely works. People call me because they know that if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find the answer. I'm not going to let them buy a crappy house or make them have a crappy deal. I think that's another thing that agents really are failing to do in a substantial way, is to really learn how to negotiate and get their clients good deals.
Yes.
You know?
Well, there's a lot we could go through there.
Yeah.
I just think for all of you and for your own good, you need to make sure that you learn things that could be great tools for you in the market. And you can reach out to people and be aware of things and know how to move. So
and don't discriminate against people either. Like, it's, sometimes we can look at people's outer appearance or something that they say and totally misjudge them. One of the things that I like to do as a realtor is to meet people who are in real estate but who are not real estate agents. Those are the people that you want to connect yourself with. Those people who do things in real estate but aren't necessarily showing houses. Because if you hang around us long enough, you'll figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So, well, okay. Thank you for listening today. And I hope if you have any questions or anything like that, you are free to ask.
Yes. And I did mention in the title to this, I said Kroger. And I said that because I think this is interesting. Yeah, it has nothing to do with real estate. Kroger is now a lender for cars.
Huh.
They have partnered with Carvana, who I just passed on the expressway coming here. They have a big sign up that says, "We'll pay cash for your car. Come in and make an offer." Sound familiar? Like, investors. They have partnered with Kroger so that you will be able to use your Kroger apps, for those of you who have those eventually, and you'll be able to get all this information about a car, negotiate a price, and buy it. And Kroger could be your financer. You just pick your car up from Carvana. So a lot of that, I thought that was interesting that they're doing something like that. Is very similar to what our industry is trying to move towards, giving people a one-stop shop where they can purchase their house all online.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It's not just happening to us. I mean, technology is kind of taking over. Yeah.
So watch for the new thinking.
Yeah, that's the point. Watch for the new thinking.
And
the grocery store can sell
that's
you a car
exactly
loan,
right.
That's some out of the box thinking.
Yes. So, okay. Well, have a great week and make money and have fun. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go for it.